20,000 years ago, the world was frozen. Glaciers swallowed entire continents. Temperatures plunged to deadly lows. For humans, survival meant endless hunger, and a battle against a world turned to ice. But this was also the age of giants. Woolly mammoths roamed the tundra. Saber-tooth cats prowled the frozen plains. And fragile humans stood among them, armed with nothing more than fire, stone, and courage. This is the story of survival at the edge of extinction. The Ice Age was the greatest challenge humanity had ever faced. For thousands of years, ice stretched across the northern world. Food was scarce. The cold was merciless. To survive, humans had to adapt like never before. They built clothing from furs. They hunted giants of the frozen tundra. They carved tools from bone and stone sharper than steel. It was here, in the frozen heart of the world, that humanity's greatest survival story was written. 20,000 years ago, Earth was gripped by ice. Glaciers taller than skyscrapers carved mountains into stone. Blizzards raged for weeks without end. For humans, this was not a season. It was a lifetime of winter. The cold was relentless. Without fire, death came in hours. Without shelter, the wind sliced through flesh like knives. And without food, even the strongest fell. Survival was not guaranteed. Every day was a battle. But humans were not alone. Across the frozen plains marched giants. Woolly mammoths towering over the ice. Woolly rhinoceroses plowed through snow. And lurking in the shadows, saber-tooth cats. Predators built for the hunt. For humans, these giants were both a gift and a curse. Mammoths carried enough meat to feed a tribe for weeks. But to hunt one meant risking death beneath tusks and fury. The Ice Age offered no mercy. Every hunt was a gamble between survival and extinction. This was the frozen world that shaped us. It tested every weakness, punished every mistake, and rewarded only the clever and the brave. In this age of ice, humanity was forced to evolve or die. To survive the Ice Age, humans had to steal warmth from the beasts they killed. Every hide was life. Mammoth fur became cloaks. Reindeer skin became boots. Bones turned into needles, stitching survival into every thread. Without these clothes, the cold would have ended us long ago. But warmth alone was not enough. To face giants, humans shaped weapons sharper than teeth. Stone blades chipped into points. Spears hardened in fire. Tools carved from bone and antler became extensions of their will to survive. Then came the hunt. A mammoth was not prey. It was a fortress of flesh and fury. To bring one down, humans had to work as one. Ambushes, traps, and spears raining from every side. A single mistake, and the hunters became the hunted. But even the greatest hunt meant nothing without shelter. Caves offered protection, but when none were found, humans built homes of bones. Mammoth tusks arched into frames, covered with hides, warmed by fire. Against the endless winter, these were sanctuaries of survival. Every day was a war against hunger, cold, and fear. Children learned to carve bone before they could walk. Women scraped hides until their hands bled. Men hunted with death at their heels. Survival was not a right. It was earned day after frozen day. But the Ice Age demanded more than tools, fire, and shelter. It demanded unity. For only together could humans stand against a world of ice and the beasts that ruled it. One human alone was nothing. The cold would claim them. The beasts would crush them. But together, they became something more. A tribe, a family, a force of survival. Around the fire, food was shared. Stories were told. Knowledge was passed from elders to children. A spark in the darkness was not just warmth. It was hope, multiplied by many hearts beating as one. The mammoth could crush a man with a single step. But not a tribe. Together they set traps, drove herds toward cliffs, rained spears from every side. Unity turned fragile humans into apex hunters. Unity gave more than survival. It gave humanity meaning. Cave walls became canvases, painted with hunts, spirits, and dreams. The tribe became more than a pack. It became the first glimpse of society. Every victory, every fire, every story was built together. It was not the strongest who survived the Ice Age. It was the tribe. And in unity, humanity found its greatest weapon of all. The Ice Age tested us. It carved us. It forced us to rise beyond fear. But as the ice began to melt, a new challenge emerged. The world would grow warm. Forests would return. And with them, the dawn of something far greater than survival, civilization. The Ice Age pushed humanity to the very edge. Through cold and hunger, through fear and giants, we endured. Not with strength, but with fire, with tools, with unity. Against a frozen world. Fragile humans proved unstoppable. And then the ice began to melt. The great glaciers retreated. Rivers returned. Forests grew where once there was only snow. The world was changing. And humanity would change with it. For the first time, humans discovered a new power, the seed. From hunting and wandering, to planting and building. This was not just survival. This was the dawn of civilization. Next, on ancient survival, the dawn of farming, how seeds changed everything.